Hello everyone, I am Dr. Saeed Assani from Nanjing University of Aeronautics and Astronautics in China. My presentation today is titled Most Productive Scale Size of China Regional Research and Development Value Chain, a Mixed Structure Network. The contents of this presentation: first, background, then objectives, then MPSS of China Research and Development Value Chain, then results and conclusions. Background. Data Envelopment Analysis, DEA, is one of the vastly available literature on efficiency and productivity analysis. DEA was accorded this name because of the way that it envelopes the decision-making units to identify an efficiency frontier that is used to evaluate the decision-making units. On the efficient frontier, there is a unit maximizes the average productivity of its given input-output mix, and after which decreasing return to scale set in. This point is called the most productive scale size, MPSS. Determining the MPSS allows the decision makers to know the best economic scale that their systems can achieve. Furthermore, it helps the decision makers to find a way to move the inefficient systems into the MPSS points. The objectives of this work: first, to introduce new models for measuring the MPSS of production systems with a mixed structure network. Decompose the MPSS of the overall system into the MPSSs of the internal subsystems. Measure the MPSS of China Regional Research and Development Value Chain. Then introduce improvement strategies for the research and development value chain in China based on the MPSS results. The mixed structure network is neither series nor parallel, but a mixture of them. For example, hotels efficiency with the two-stage production and service, where the production stage is further separated into rooms and restaurants in parallel. Another example, airport performance by decomposing the operations into services and production, where the former were further divided into landside and airside in parallel. As you can see first here in this system is mixed structure network. It's not series, not parallel. X1 and X2, each one goes to process 1 and process 2. We have intermediate measures from process 1 to process 2, and each process produces its own final outputs. This system can be transformed using dummy process 3 and 4 into a series of parallel processes. Then we can use the properties of series and parallel systems to generate the efficiency scores or MPSS scores of such mixed structure system. China Regional Research and Development Value Chain. In this work, we consider a mixed structure network composed of two stages in series. The first stage is called profitability efficiency. The second stage is for marketability efficiency. In the first stage, we have two processes are connected in parallel. The first one is called basic production. The second process is research and development efforts. In the first process, we use employee and investment in assets as inputs to produce the sales volume. While in the second process, in the profitability efficiency, we use research and development personnel, research and development projects, and research and development expenditures as inputs to produce the patents. As outputs of the first stage, we have sales volume and patents. which are the inputs to the second stage to produce the final output of the system, which is market value. Here in this system, we use variables for the intermediate measures. We consider them variables in the modeling, look here and here and here, so that we can generate the new appropriate levels of intermediate measures, which will give us the gap between the new values of intermediate measures and the original values of the intermediate measures, which will allow us to give the improving strategies for the China regional research and development value chain. This is the summary of the inputs and outputs descriptive statistics of China research and development activities from 2014 to 2015. Here are the inputs and outputs of first and second stage in 2015 and 2014. Here in this table, we report the MBSS regions in 2014 and 2015. In 2014, we found that we have 4 regions are MPSS in the operation process and 1 in the research and development process. The 4 regions are Zhejiang, Fujian, Jiangxi, and Shandong, while in the research and development process, only Beijing is considered MPSS. In the marketability stage, only Beijing is MPSS. In 2015, 5 regions are MPSS in the operation process: Shanghai, Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Fujian, and Shandong, while 3 are MPSS in research and development process: Beijing, Guangxi, and Tibet. In the marketability efficiency, again, Beijing stay MPSS in 2014 and 2015. The appropriate levels of intermediate measures of profitability stage for 2015. As we have stated before, we have sales and patents to intermediate measures from profitability stage, outputs of profitability stage, and inputs to the marketability stage. Here are the current level or the original levels of intermediate measures. Here, these 2 columns are the appropriate levels generated by the MPSS models. Here we have the gap between these values and the original values. This gap will give us the improving strategy. Here we have to decrease sales, here decrease sales and patents for these regions, while here we have to decrease sales and increase the number of patents for these regions, while here we have to increase the sales and patents altogether in these regions. The conclusions and implications. With the ability to measure the MPSS of network systems, decompose the overall MPSS of the subsystems MPSS, the network MPSS concept introduced in this work is more reasonable and applicable than the black box MPSS. The MPSS model provided not only the MPSS measurements, but also the values that indicate the appropriate degree of intermediate measures for the 2 stages as improvements strategies. This is in the China research and development value chain. The marketability efficiency values of Chinese research and development regions were low. As a result, a majority of the large high technology firms in the Chinese regions performed inefficiently in terms of both profitability and marketability. Generally, the lower profitability and marketability efficiency of high technology firms in the Chinese regions is a serious problem that may be due to wasted resources on production and research and development processes. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to participate in this great conference.